But a tip of the week is simply this, guys, is implement this rule. And the rule is the 80-20 principle. And the 80-20 principle or strategy or mindset, whatever you want to call it, is the idea of this, is that the success you're having in the day, 80% of what's going great in your business, in your life, is based on 20% of the things that you're doing. Now the question is, what are you doing? And do you know what you're doing? Do you know what that 20% is? So the tip is to focus on the 20% of what you're doing that's giving you 80% of your success. And so very quickly, now I have to say this, I'm only going to spend a couple of minutes on this as a tip, but if you want clarity on this, if you want me to explain it more, hashtag Chat Cafe Live and let me know that you want me to explain this a little bit more. So, for instance, you have 24 hours in a day.
Yep.
Let's say you sleep 8 hours. You have 16 hours in your day left, okay, that you will utilize and maximize for whatever, whether it's business or professional. And so let's say you have to work. We have to work. We have to put food on the table, put a roof over our head. So we've got to work. That's just the way it is. So how many hours in the day do you work? And then the hours that you work, there's 80% of it is successful, okay, or you're successful. What are you doing to be successful? And do you know what you're doing? So that's the 80-20 principle. Let me know if you want me to clarify that, because my tip is this. Focus on the 20% that you're doing that gives you the 80% success that you're having. So I do hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, hashtag Chat Cafe Live. Peter, makes absolutely no sense. What are you talking about? Because if you know and it makes sense to you and you apply it, you will maximize your ability to be successful as an artist, as an entrepreneur, and in anything that you do.
Yes.
And that's what we do with All Day. A lot of you ask us.
Yeah. I mean, I had someone the other day ask, well, Miss Renee, how do you get so much done? I mean, I see that you're on all the social medias. I see that your website's updated. I see that you're teaching. I see that you're in New York. I see that you're in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I see that your children, are well taken care of and you're doing events with them. How do you get it done? And this is what, Peter and I, what he shared with me over the many, many years as, is making sure that we are focused on what we need to get done. And what part of that time is just busyness and wasteful time, and what time are we actually doing that is going to give us the results that we want, whether that's mental results, spiritual results, financial results, personal results in our careers as far as getting work and things done, and that's what we do. We get so much done during our day, and you know what we use? A lot of the technology.
Without question.
Yeah, he's amazing, total tech geek, and sometimes for us, and sometimes even for myself, as a creative being and someone that's, I'm not in the mood to finish this or that. I still need to stay disciplined enough and focused enough to say, okay, this is the day that I have this deadline because this set of choreography needs to be done, or I need to be here at this college to teach this seminar, or I need to be there. Okay, what have I done? What am I doing in my day? What have I allowed myself to get distracted from, and what have I allowed myself to really focus on? And for me, I'm a visual learner. I need to write it down. I need to say, okay, now my kids are here. Okay, now I'm going to go and help my son, with theater week, or I'm going to help my daughter with the talent show that she's preparing for. So I have an hour for that, and now I have an hour and a half or 2 hours for this to learn a new program on my computer to get things updated, to get my choreography done. But everything has a time and a place. Everything needs to be organized so that we have time for ourselves, so that we can enjoy and relax at the end of the day, so that my house is not in disarray, so I can actually get all those things done. And yes, it does sound overwhelming. It does sound like we have a lot to do. Guess what? We all have a lot to do that's on our plate. And so with this 80-20 principle, and with making those goals and being able to attain those goals, so at the end of the day, when we put our heads on the bed, we're like, yes, it is well with our souls. We can rest in peace. We can sleep in peace because we know that we've got most of those things done. And that's just a lot, I believe, with time management, being able to manage on our time. And sometimes that's hard.
The 80-20 principle really focuses on the fact of knowing exactly what you have to do to get great results.
Yes.
And a lot of times, because I know you guys know about time management. We talk about time. It's so cliche now, but it's still true.
Yes.
Get more done by managing your time. Understand how much time you have and how much time you're going to put towards something. But the most important thing is how are you going to use that time,
yes.
and so that's the most effective. The 80-20 principle talks about zeroing in on that 20% that you're doing in all this that's getting you those results. And so look it up, understand it, embrace it. It's also, it was coined first, it's called the Pareto principle, but it's called 80-20 rule, 80-20 mindset. But look it up, just Google 80-20 / and Google that, okay, guys? So that's my tip of the week, and that's where I'm going to leave it at. #ChatCafe Live for clarity on that.